let's look at this Fuse thing.
New mixing plugin that actually detects and
Yeah, this
removes
has got some dislikes for some reason. Wonder why.
frequency masking issues in your mix, and it does it automatically. It's got a few other
There are plenty of plugins that do that already, though, right?
built-in tricks up its sleeve, and I actually got a pre-release view of this in a demo from the CEO. Now, I agreed to do that, and I also convinced him to allow me to record it.
Fusa is a brand new way to resolve conflicting audio in your mixes.
Plugin Boutique wants money from purchases done on Plugin Boutique. Yeah, what a shocker. What a shocker. Those plugins don't automatically adjust the phase accordingly, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I guess that's the one thing that looks good about this.
Show me that real quick before we jump in.
Let's have a listen to this mix. So the reference is no Fusa, and then the original is with Fusa on the bass, and it's sidechaining the kick, and also on the music, sidechaining the vocals. This is without Fusa is the reference.
That's the main thing about the plugin, the phase manipulation.
So what it's doing is subtly making space for the vocal to shine and for the kick to punch through. Before, what we had is the bass
was not just a phase,
overpowering the kick, meaning that those transients couldn't punch through. And what Fusa has done is created a really nice relative volume balance, optimized the phase rotation, and also it's doing mid-side specific sidechain ducking to duck out of the way of the kick in the frequency.
Okay, wait, and it's doing it automatically mid-side too. Glorified sidechain. Well, it's not just sidechain though. It does more than that. The phase rotation seems like the most useful part here.
And something very similar is happening on the music as well, so the vocals can shine through. Let's have another quick listen. This is with Fusa starting.
Take me back to when we were grinding in the backseat. Back to when you were kissing all over me. Back to when we were grinding in the backseat.
So much cleaner.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Not gonna lie. Yeah, it does seem actually a little bit unique. I think it does sidechain EQ, and it also manipulates the phase to make sure that the phase is optimized to make things most audible while playing together. It does it automatically too.
To start with, this mix has conflict between let's start with the kick and the bass. The overlapping frequencies mean that the kick is losing its punch. So what we do is we insert as the final plugin on the chain here, and I'm going to sidechain the kick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio, and Fusa is going to do some smart analysis.
So take me back to when we were grinding.
You definitely hear the issue there.
Hey, busy.
Hey, thank you for the subscription.
So what we have here is the input gain. What I'm seeing is it's on the bass channel, and this little arrow shows me what gain adjustments I have to apply to the bass to make it the same perceived loudness as the sidechain, so the kick. So if I say
Shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. Who's dying back there? That's my girlfriend.
terrible perceived loudness. I'm going to bring up the volume again so you can just listen to that, the first stage.
The true Weaver comes out.
That's off. That's on. So that's the first stage, balancing the volume. The second is optimizing the phase. So what it does is this smart button here allows us to play the two tracks at the same time, and it's going to give me the perfect phase rotation to minimize phase cancellation. It's gonna be
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was going to say something about that too. He shows 1 millisecond of it. That's on. Doot, doot. Okay, moving on. I don't know. That's one really funny thing about this video. It's 16 minutes long, and they only show the before and after. The after was only for like 2 seconds, 1 second maybe.
anything.
What?
Yeah. Too cool. This is really, really effective on layering sounds like kicks and basses. When you have two sounds that are conflicting in the same region, like a kick and a bass, they're still quite different. So the differences can be a bit more subtle. But if you're layering a kick, which we'll get into later, the difference is like mind blowing. But anyway, so I'm going to click this and it's going to automatically set
Okay, yeah, that could be useful.
something. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it does seem like a rehearsed presentation too to me.
Okay, so this is the best phase location to rotate.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of not layering kicks either, one kick or bass, unless it's like like a mid bass or something, like a mid frequency bass.
To minimize phase cancellation between these two audio sources. It just means that now with the phase rotation at minus 40 degrees, this is going to be the loudest that you're going to get these two channels working together.
That's wild. I think that's the first time I have ever seen that technology in a plugin, Tom.
Wow. It's very cool, and it's so effective. You wait till we get to the kicks, you're going to love it. The main kind of part of this plugin is now the conflict detection and then the resolve conflicts feature. So I'm going to play the music again. Okay, let's bring this down so I can talk over the top.
Drinks bugs.
So here we can see the
This guy's a bad actor.
chain signal, which is the kick, is this white line, and then the bass is this kind of grey line behind. And the red is where you can see the conflicts are happening. So the red glow is showing it in the mid channel, and if there was any side channel conflict, that would be shown in yellow. So here, what I can do is I can click resolve conflicts, and just like that, a node is created. So one of the big problems that a lot of producers have is they either sidechain too much or they don't sidechain enough, and so the ducking is...
The producers are too nerdy for me to comprehend. I want to make music. I don't know what to say to you, sir.
It doesn't sound great. So it can make the mix sound thin if they do it too much, and if they don't do it enough, then it's still muddy. So
Affiliate link down below. Yeah, that's all I have to say to you today.
Problem by doing this kind of like automatic node creation, this ducking creation, where it just ducks and solves the problem at the perfect amount to remove the conflict without overdoing it.
I actually really want to try this plugin. Is there a free trial?
So here you have what you could
Let me look it up. Download free trial. Let's go. I'm gonna drop that affiliate link down below, even though I haven't even tried it. Okay, I'll be using this after.
do is you can drag this node around as you please. The further down you bring it, the lower
They gave this plugin away a while back too. Really? Is this not a new plugin?
threshold, and therefore the greater the processing.
Yeah, there's a
You can
demo
see
for
that
it.
up here. So yeah, just something that's nice and subtle is like here. And you can adjust the mid-side here, mid-side full stereo as you please. The Q, you can scroll to do the Q as well. Attack and release. A nice touch here is when you click delta, this is going to play what's being removed. And this is a really good way of addressing the attack and release. So if I have the release really long, you can hear it's doing too much ducking. Whereas if I've got the track on delta, I can bring this in and I can make sure that the ducking is really tight with that kick, so it's only ducking where it needs to. There you go. So now in the context of the mix, the ducking is very transparent. It's just in in the mid channel. It's just
what I'm most interested in here is like the rotate, the phase rotate, the fact it does it automatically, and also the fact that it only does it on mid and side when it needs to. Well said not to worry this much. Oh, you must be right then.
Just the right amount. It's the
Every plugin should have delta for non-reaper users. True, I agree.
perfect attack and release. And now if I bring this in the context of the whole mix, let's have a listen.
So take me back to when we were riding in the backseat.
Sounds good to me. I don't know. I'm liking
Let's
this.
compare it to the without Fusa.
So take me back to when we were riding in the backseat. Back to when you were kissing all over me. Back to when we were riding in the backseat.
Couple of quick questions, Tom.
Shoot.
So I'm assuming that the ducking has happened dynamic.
Every plugin should have a bolo button. It just shuts off the plugin and tells you to keep moving. It goes bolo.
Sidechain signal. because,
Deletes
I
it.
mean, we've got the filter node there that looks static, but the kind of inverse frequency spectrum that shows up as the kick comes in, that's what's actually being taken away, right?
Exactly. So this kind of white signal that's coming down, that is what's being removed. Yeah.
And also, my other question is, am I always just going to get one filter node when I'm doing this?
So let's jump into the music and we'll see how that responds. So this one's a bit different. So this one we're going, basically nodes will appear where the problems are, and they'll be
PewDiePie? I've never heard of that, man.
mid-side specific as well. So I've put Fusa on the music here, and I've sidechained the vocals, and you can see maybe a little less conflict here, but you have the red is showing me where there's a little bit of mid-channel conflict, and the yellow is showing me where there's a little bit of side. So if I click,
I wonder what's with the dislikes here. I'm gonna do some. Let's do some investigations here, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Why are people upset? I'd like to know why people are upset. 31 comments. Huh. It's not a lot of comments for the dislikes. A little weird. I wonder if this messes with mono compatibility as it dynamically reduces frequencies of mid-side configuration, which in my mind would mess with the stereo image. That's true. It could. I would hope not. Phase rotation is a nice touch. When I tried this, it made to turn the bass way too quiet. Don't know if this is a frequency bug with 808s. Nice review. Why do people think things... People always call things reviews that are not reviews. For instance, some people will call WN, they're like, good review. I'm like, that's not... how. Why are you calling this a review? I literally just said what it is. I said like 2 things about it. Why does this guy keep calling the trial trail? Is the trail fully functional for a 15 days or 30, or how the trail version works? Phase compatibility is so important to bass, but it's usually a task that is either a button or a very minimal amount of control outside of the off-on button. Crashes on Cubase 12 apparently. Trail gang. Paid comments. You can do all that with the dynamic EQ or multiband compressor. Well, the thing is it can automatically correct those things, and it also corrects phase. I think that's what it is. The phase correction is what is the most interesting to me here. Everything else I don't really give a shit about. The bass disappeared in the rock demo. Listening in Genelec 8 it took away too much of the bass. Perhaps they could have tweaked the settings some more. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at headphones, so I don't know if I have an accurate perception of that. What is with the... I can't understand the dislikes. Maybe they're deleting comments. Isn't phase just something that's unavoidable? No, you can change the phase. You can alter the phase of the waveform. It is unavoidable with EQ, so it's not something unavoidable. You can mess with the phase. It is something that can help with masking as well, too. Or I don't know if masking is the right word. But it can help in mixes, though, essentially. It can make things pop on the mix better if the phase is different. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. I'm not mad at that. I might actually want to try that out.